How are you? You can unmute if you're ready.
I'm good. Hi, how you doing? What's good?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm okay. This year, doing fine.
All right. I just had a couple of questions. First of all, how familiar are you with the Twitter Spaces and at least the conversations with on Twitter?
Pretty much. I host some spaces myself, so it's all good.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Oh, I said I'm pretty much familiar with it. I host some spaces too myself, so yeah.
Okay. So do you conversate with Americans?
A couple of years back, but not often. Maybe once a while, just like I'm doing with you now.
Okay. And you live in Nigeria. Do you live in Nigeria? And have you lived in Nigeria for most of your life?
Yeah, I was born in Nigeria. I've been living in Nigeria. Right now, I'm still in Nigeria all my life.
Okay. Cool. Could you give me 2 seconds, please? I just need to finish this and then I'm prepared.
It's all right. It's all right.
Thank you. Okay. Um. All right. I'm ready now.
Okay.
I wanted to have this conversation with you in particular, because first of all, how familiar are you with America and Black people in America specifically?
Um, Not so much. Yeah, first, I've not had any close relationship with lots of them. I've spoken with a few of them, and I've seen them on TV. Just like that, randomly conversation on Twitter, and that's it. That's it basically.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm not sure how familiar you are with a lot of talks on Twitter, but it's generally a lot of I'm basically trolling shit. It could come from either side, but it's a thing. You know what I'm saying, and that's why I say I feel like you're an authentic Nigerian who may not be on no type of trollish things, and that's why I feel like maybe we can have a civilized conversation. If you want to know anything about America, I could talk to you about that. I do have some questions about Africa and Nigeria. If you don't mind, we could just discuss these type of things if that's okay.
That's okay actually. I'm good with it.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. All right. I'm 36. I want to start out because this has always been a question that I can never get a straight answer on. Um, what's the educational system like in Nigeria overall?
Repeat that, please.
What's the educational system like in Nigeria overall?
Uh, you could say underdeveloped. We're still growing. It's a developing country, right? So pretty much still growing, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So like, so we have private schools that the owners go abroad, learn some skills, maybe go to Dubai, learn about STEM, go to the US, and come back in, create private schools, and set it up to American standard or Europe standard and fair with them. But for public school, it's a lot trash, right? When I was a lot younger, I went to a public school. It's a lot trash actually. Um, so you have settings like where there are about maybe 300 students as at that time in a class without chairs and all that, and then they just stuff. a lot of people in a classroom and
I'm
try
sorry,
to teach them
300 students in one classroom or in the overall school?
in a classroom.
Three.
I sat when I was in elementary, right? I'm talking about myself. I think now they probably have like maybe 100 in a classroom as at
Mm-hmm.
now. But as at when I was telling you, when I was in school, I had 300 people in my classroom in the public schools.
So
So yeah,
how many teachers or instructors or helpers would they have in this classroom?
so it's like so let me say there's a single teacher assigned to most of the classroom, yeah, and some of them go ahead and take about maybe 6 or 7 subjects, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, but in a classroom, it's just a single teacher. Yeah,
I'm sorry, how many?
I'm just one.
So they don't have anyone assisting if anyone need, I'm pretty sure the teacher can instruct, but people would need special attention. So like, would they have somebody on the side helping? Hey, I have a question, and they help them with that, or is it still
No, they
based off
just
of that one teacher?
yeah, actually. So maybe if the teacher then now need like maybe your extra, and maybe the teacher can go to the next teacher in the next class and say, "Oh, please, I need your help with this. Can you please come over and help me with this?" Maybe if it's like they needed to pass on a message so important or share some things to the people in the room. So they do that sometimes. They go to the next class and get the next teacher to help them.
Okay. Um, what in America we have pretty much kindergarten through 12th grade, first to 12th grade. Um, before college. So, what are the grade levels in Nigeria? Is it pretty much the same?
Yeah, it's same. It's still the same. Up to 12th grade, yeah.
So it could take you about 18 years to complete kindergarten through high school.
Yeah, like, but mostly these days, I think 16 years, 17 years. Yeah, you
Okay.
can complete, yes, yeah.
Now, what are like subjects? What subjects do they have? Obviously, maybe reading, writing, arithmetic. Um, what subjects do they have primarily in these schools, public and private?
Okay, so let me say for private, they pretty much some of them use British curriculum, yeah. So they
Mm-hmm.
use British curriculum, and basically all subjects are available regarding the field where the student belong. But for some public schools, some of them still use there's a curriculum that the government of Nigeria put out there, yeah. But sometimes they have limited reach. Maybe if there are no teachers available to take this subject, they don't take it. But pretty much maths, English, chemistry, physics, everything pretty much available. The basics, yeah.
Yeah.
But anything into maybe extra field of work, maybe field work, um, what's it called? Maybe learning a craft, art and craft like that. So most of them are limited,
Mm-hmm.
So we don't get that often. Yeah, so we don't get those often.
Okay. Um, do they have high rates of graduation?
Yeah, actually, yeah,
Yeah.
they do. Nigerians are pretty much. I mean, Nigerian parents are pretty much on education for their kids, right? So a lot of people. I mean, I would say maybe. So let me say Irish of education, maybe 50-50. You have a lot of people. So I live in the city, right? Okay, let me say this. I live in the city. I live in the largest city in Africa. I live in Lagos. So in my environment, 90% go to school and graduate. But there are some places in Nigeria that they don't have access to education at all. So maybe there, no, especially maybe like in the north.
Can you Google the city in the and post it into the comment section, or if you know how to use the jumbotron?
Okay, so I'll check us. I'll check us up, please, and put it there.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty much. So okay, let me just do. So let me. But you can go ahead and talk about that since I'll just put it in. You hear me, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you can go ahead and talk, and then I'll just put it in where we talk.
Okay. Um, while you're doing that, do you have any family that moved to America or any other country in the world or another continent?
So one thing about Nigerians is basically Nigerians are all over the world due to bad government that we have, right? So a lot of
Yes.
people travel to get better life and all that. So I pretty much know a lot of people that travel personally, but family no.
How do you feel personally about living under your government?
Not good. I'll tell you, half of my life I want to live here.
I'm sorry.
I say, me personally, half of my life I've always wanted to leave this place.
Do you have any specific reasons as to why that you would care to share?
Say again.
Do you have any? I mean, can you do you care to share any particular reasons why on your personal experience?
Okay. One of it is it's hard to grow in a way. Like, so we don't have access to a lot of things, and that too can affect. Another thing is the government. So the government just keep ruining things for us. So for example, like inflations in the country is no, I can't even say triple, but let me just say triple every year, every single year. It's so tripling. There's no job opportunity for people. You just go to school, you're a graduate and no jobs. So I know a lot of people that. So I have a diploma here,
Hmm.
and I can't use that to get a job because there's no job opportunity for people. So you might go to school, get a college degree, and still no access to a job. So you can't be here as a young person and grow to what do you guys call it, the American dream. You can't
Hmm.
do that. So you need like to go out there, go to the US, where you get regulations to get paid when you work, and then maybe you raise money and come over here because your currency is a lot higher than our currency, right? So
Yes.
you can use that to generate wealth back home. And another thing is, I was going to say something that I'm forgetting. Oh, so I mean, still, I think good evening. So the jobs that you get here, so you are basically underpaid. Like when I started working here for the first time, I was getting paid. It's a lot less. Actually, okay. So when I finish my secondary school, before I go to school and before I go to college, I went to teach to be a teacher in a private school. But because there is no government regulations that go through these things to check them out, whether teachers are doing great, if the children are being taught well. So I was able to teach as an undergraduate. I was getting paid 7,000 naira at the time. 7,000 naira is not up to $10 in a month. That's what I get paid. So
Hmm.
current as time goes on, I got paid in other jobs. I got paid 60,000 there. At that time, it was
Uh,
about $30 every month. $30 every month.
that's
So
that's
you
an
can
that's
make a
an
lot.
American money, right?
Yeah, I'm converting into America so you can understand. Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't do a lot of that at all. So you can't do that. So you can't make a lot out of it. Like so, you just keep living and not like so you living to feed
What
yourself.
type of jobs? Like even bare minimum. What's the bare minimum jobs? Whether people have an education or not. specifically those that don't have an education, a high school diploma, um, or the people in the range of having a high school diploma and a college degree? What are the general jobs out there?
Maybe you work in a construction site. You know we do work here, like so. So I mean, you work in a construction site, maybe a manufacturing company, just to get something to eat. Maybe in transportation. So because you don't need certificate to do all of those, right?
Hmm.
So you just do basic things that you don't need certificate to do, and you get so less paid. Maybe a driving job, maybe you can be a driver, you can be a cleaner. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Yes. So basically, you
Um.
can, uh, yeah. Or basically, what help most people in Nigeria is if you learn handwork. So we call it handwork. I don't know if you call it that. So handwork is um like learning a trade, maybe how to braid. Basically, most Nigerians are skilled. They are skilled workers, so that's what we call handwork. Maybe you learn tailoring, electrical repairs, mechanical repairs. Um, so why we go to school, because of the fucked up education that we have. Our parents do normally put us somewhere to learn a trade, to learn a skill. So yeah, so most of the time people use that to fend for themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And there is no, let's say, factories over there to produce cars, goods, clothing.
We do have a lot of that. We do, but maybe far away from where I live right now, maybe in another state called Ogun State, they do have that, and they get so less pay. Sometimes these factories are owned by Indians,
Hmm.
right? So they get so less pay. I work in some in a factory once. It's called Big Sam. They deal with frozen chicken. I get paid at the time. I think this was in 2019. I get paid 16,000 naira monthly. Sixteen
Mm.
thousand naira monthly is about um uh at the time it should be like maybe $10 or $15 monthly.
So, um, residents out there, do they generally own the land in which they live, or do they? Is it a high majority that rent, or is there a mix?
So basically, for every building that that a landlord owns, they own the land. In Nigeria, they sell you the land and then you build, right?
Hmm.
So people that maybe that use their degree, maybe they're in the banking, finance, engineering, they get to work for a big company, own their own businesses. They can afford to build a house, and then yeah. So me currently, I'm renting in Lagos. So Lagos is like New York, right? Lagos is like New York. So you have a lot of people that build houses and rent it out. So
Is it a
let me
diverse
say,
city?
yeah, it's a very diverse city. Do you
Okay.
know Nigerian have 525 dialects?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a very diverse city. So it's a mega city, right? It's a mega city. It's the biggest in Africa. So yeah, so it's like New York. You can say that. So
Okay. So, cost of living compared to the jobs, even the lower class jobs, the lower paying jobs. Cost of living as far as rent, mortgage, um, other bills. If you got light bills, gas bills, heating bills, uh, insurance, food, clothing. How is the cost of living out there? Are people able to survive? Pretty good.
not really. Without jobs, no, not really. So
No.
cost of living is pretty much high. I won't lie. So it's like you work and you pay for food, and where I live, we have a lot of people that live on the streets, right? So
Hmm.
you basically just work, do menial jobs to survive, like to survive whatever you're doing. But cost of living is so high in this state that I'm in, and actually in other states. So about 30% of the Nigerian own their homes. We have over 230 million Nigerians. So 25% own their home. So you could see like it's a very big, about maybe 70% doesn't own a home. They find it hard to live or to feed at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, this is important to me. Um, your government, and I know that you said like you pointed out Indians who own some of these factories out there. And Indians is like Kamala Harris to us. You know what I'm saying? If we
Mm-hmm.
speaking about the same type of people, um, who are generally in what race or ethnic group is generally in the power structure, government wise and business wise in Nigeria?
Okay, so there's okay right now the most people in the government sector are the Northerners, right? But the president is a Yoruba, is from my tribe, the West. But the
Hmm.
people in business, basically in this country, like they do lots of businesses are the Igbos. Those are the Easterners. They like so even they are even recognized all over the world that their type of business is so like it's so advanced, right? So what the Igbo people do, right? So for example, if you own a store, if you let me say you own a shopping mall for car parts, maybe different parts of cars, right?
Yeah.
So what the Igbos do is they go back to their villages. I can say village because it's called village in Nigeria. So they go back to where they are born, maybe where they are from, and they go there, get a couple of their own boys, maybe kids that are born there that don't have access to education. So they bring them in and train them how the trade works, how you sell this, how you get this, they tell you this is your distributor. So they can be there for like 5 years working for him. He's going to be feeding them, housing them, and then after 5 years, he will set them up and maybe get a smaller shop for them. And from there, they establish themselves and do the same. So they keep repeating. They are very good at it. They do these businesses all their life. They just keep repeating it. You can look it up.
So,
So
why do you believe that it kind of overlooked you all? Um, to Why do you believe that your government haven't put you in a position to produce for yourselves in that capacity? Do you blame your government for that?
um, for not creating job opportunities,
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
or are you asking am I blaming my government for
For
the things happening in the
yes, for those conditions, for other people to come and allow them to, take control of certain areas, those departments, in your country specifically.
Okay, so let me say, for example, the Indians and the Chinese are here a lot. They have a lot of factories,
Yes.
and then Nigerians go there, they work and they get underpaid, right? What my government could have done is they go there and give them pay regulations that this is what you need to pay as long as you pay tax to us, and then you are supposed to pay because you are an international company, right? Coming to Nigeria, so you're supposed to deal in international currency, yeah. But
Hmm.
because, so let me say, for example, if Tesla can set up a company in the US, and then the average workers get paid $18 per hour to manufacture car parts and all that. And if they see they can come to Nigeria and so they get paid $18 per hour, yeah. and they do the same maximum effort of work, and they see they could come to Nigeria. The government is not going to look into how much they're paying people, and they could literally just pay the people $18 per month with the same maximum effort of work. What do you think? They'll come here and come use the people like slaves, and the government is not going to do anything about it.
That
The
is
government keep
ridiculous.
so ridiculous. The government keep coming, taking off subsidy, taking off. So a year ago, right? A year
Yes.
ago, we were getting gas for about 185 naira. So that is like, maybe let me say, as at now to dollar, it's way less, maybe like um a cent or something. I don't know how much it is. Wait, let me check.
Okay.
Let me check the exchange rate.
Okay.
Uh, 185 naira to USD. So a year ago we are getting, I don't know, it said it's 0 point, I think 11 cents, 11 cents for per liter of gas, right? A year ago. And then now, 1 year later, we're getting it for 1,000, 1,200, about 72, I think. Is it cents? I think, I think it is. So we're getting it for almost $1 now, from 11 cents to about 72 cents. So they remove subsidy. So so the new government, when they came in, like maybe the way Donald Trump won the presidential election, so we had a new government, and they keep removing subsidy from everything, and they are not working, like they're not putting in the subsidy they are removing to other aspects of the country, maybe repairing the roads, or you feel me. I mean, basically, as a Nigerian, that you know your way, you're born here. If you literally, like, if you got the fundings, you're gonna make it good, right? You're gonna make it good and quickly rise to the top if you have the money. But as a
Yeah.
Nigerian that don't have the money, you're gonna suffer a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, so the government are just stealing the money, like taking a lot of from the people and not giving back. So that's fucked up. I won't lie. So it's like Kamala Harris investing in the study of transgender monkeys or
Yeah.
trans monkeys. You feel me? Like, it's so dumb. Like,
Yeah.
they're not doing anything for the people. They just like taking away the money for themselves, buying houses in Dubai. Like, you feel me? Like, so
What is
yeah.
your population like in your city specifically?
In Lagos, I think it's about 25 million. Let me
25
check.
million.
Yeah,
And
and
I mean,
it's
this
the
is 25
smallest.
million citizens operating under your government, right?
You said what?
This is 25 million people operating under your government specifically, right?
Yeah, this is just a city, not your country. You feel me?
Right. I mean, that's a large city. 25 million in one city. That's huge. And what percentage of that 25 million would you say is in the lower class?
Uh, in the lower class, maybe 17 or 18 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are the relations between the middle class, higher class, and the lower class in within that city?
Uh, let me see. Let me see. I mean, basically, the lower class just work for the higher class. You feel me? So as of now, we don't have anybody average. It's either you're rich or you're poor. We used to have average people. So you used to have a lot. You used to have nothing. Now you have something, and you're not rich. But right now, with the whole economy and inflation within the last 1 year, it's either you're rich or you're poor. So people just do their thing. They try to survive. They work, and
Are you all
it's
dealing with
basically that.
inflation right now?
It's a what?
Are you all dealing with inflation right now?
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like triple. Yeah, you can look it up. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's bad in America right now too.
I mean, I think in June or July, I think there was inflation all over the world, right? But in Nigeria, it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like literally, I could get a meal for, let me see, in dollars. I could get a meal for $1 a year ago for $1. Now I can't get a meal for $5. Now, just within the space of 1 year, that's crazy.
Wow.
You feel me? And I don't get
Yeah.
paid enough. You
Yeah.
feel me? Yeah.
No,
So
I
I don't
understand.
exactly.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know it was that bad. And especially for that amount of people within that one city. Um, so crime. Is the crime rate high over there?
Mm, there's crime all over the places, all over the world. But recently, no, no, I think it's reduced a lot. Okay, so when we talk about crime, what kind of crime are you talking about?
Well, I mean, all types. But I mean, when we look at lower class, and you got a lot of people that's trying to survive, like you said, due to lack of jobs, high inflation. Um, does it
Okay,
drive people
so
to
let
steal? Does it drive people to, get frustrated and kill? You know what I'm saying? Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
just
so let me get straight with you, right? Let me get straight with you. So this is if people know I'm talking about this, it might give me a lot of trouble, but I'm still gonna say nonetheless because I don't support what they do, right? So
mhm.
there's something called Yahoo Boys in the country, right?
Yes.
So before now, there used to be a high number of people that thieves go around, steal, rob stores, steal cars and all that. And then maybe from like let me say 2016, 17 down till now. So there's a lot of people, there's a rise in what we call Yahoo boys. Right. So what they do is they scam. They are it's a group of scammers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically who do they scam? They scam people overseas, they scam Americans, the British people, and the Europeans. So they do it in all sorts of ways. They befriend a person. Um, they don't use so what they impersonate. They first of all they impersonate a person, maybe a lady whatsoever, and then they befriend a white person. They get into a relationship with them and scam them of their money. They get access to their bank card by the details that you give them directly. And so because of that, so there is a very much high percentage in that. So because of that, because people know they can get on their phones and scam an American for dollars, and if you convert it to naira, it's a lot of money. So people just do that instead of going to the street and killing and robbing people. So they just do that.
Okay.
A lot of the youth actually, yeah. So because the whole of Nigeria, about I think about 70% of the whole Nigerians, they are youth, they are below 40 something.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, yeah.
Um, if you had a choice to move anywhere in the world, do you know where that would be?
Honestly, yeah. Like I said, all my life I wanted to live. So because while I was growing up, yeah, when I was I don't know if I I'm being recorded, but it's fine. So I lost my parents, both of them, while I was so young, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Before I was nine, both of my parents were late. So I live with my grandmother. I move in with my uncle. I just pass around like that, like that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much it's very hard for me because my family is I can see they're poor. So we're trying to make ends meet, but it's fine. We're good though. Everybody's spending for themselves. So I see these people on TV. I watch American shows on Nickelodeon, and I wonder for myself. I feel like I don't want to die. I don't want to die in poverty. Yeah, I see these people. They work. I watch American movie. I see the way they live their life. I'm like, oh, look at these structures. Look at these people. These cities are so advanced. You can live in a calm environment. I know that there are crimes in the US, but I feel like it's a lot better than living in the country. I feel like, you know what? I think one day I'm going to go to this country make a lot of money, come back home, help my people, build some places, teach these people some skills. Like, so basically, it would be good for me if I go to a place that um my skin color does not determine if I'm a human or not, right? But I don't because a lot of Nigerians are traveling now. They want a better life for themselves. But I
Well,
just
do
I
they
just said to
do they
myself,
generally come back though? I hear your goal on that. And I heard you say that earlier, but do the people that you know that have left, do they generally come back and share wealth and help build and create wealth?
no, if 100 people leave the country, they live for a better life and maybe citizenship in that country. The only time they come back is for visiting. Maybe they come visit their family, come see their friends, and they go back. So that's it.
Do they at
Let me,
least send money or education or help develop, even though they may not be there physically? Do they help develop from a distance?
maybe their family members they send money to them. They say, oh, you know what? Let me send this guy to school. Let's make sure he stays in school. And sometimes if the child turned out well, they sometimes just bring them over to the US.
Yeah,
But but most of them they send him back money. They send you money. They help their mothers because most of them their mothers are here and they are old. They can't travel, so
right.
they send their moms money. Yeah, or they help them build houses. Most of them build houses. Like they send the money to the country. They build houses for them. They ask their family to move in those houses. You know. So
Yeah.
yeah, they do that.
Um, what are race relations like? I know you say you in a very diverse city, 25 million. It's got to be. What are the race relations like out there?
Uh, I'm not gonna lie, but Nigerians are basic like they're happy people, right?
Hmm.
The whole country situation is hard enough for people to start fighting themselves. Like there are some assholes that still tell you, you know what, go back to where you're from, go back. There's tribalism. I'm not gonna lie about that. There's tribalism in the country, but basically, if you're in a city like Lagos, everybody get along, and they just come here to make money and try to have a better life. So sometimes it's not a big deal that you're from here or not. Maybe if I travel to the north, they might be like, "Oh, you're not from here. Oh, Lagos boy, what's going on? What's good?" But we're just happy people. People are suffering enough for them to start fighting themselves. But it is there some parts people still do it, but it's not as much as like the way it's
Yeah.
yeah like that.
So I'm pretty sure you live a normal life, right? Do you have a family?
Currently, I live alone. I just turned 23 in October. Like I said, my parents are no more. My sister is, I have a step sister and a step brother. Yeah. So
Mm.
we live apart, so far apart. I'm trying to get a better life. I started coming on X on Twitter, thinking maybe if I make enough money from Elon, maybe I can make something and go to Spain, because
Yeah.
Spain seems easy for me to access. Going to the US is a lot. A lot of Nigerians want to go into the US, and it's a lot hectic. So I feel like because the embassies all over the world are in Nigeria, and they feel like, oh, there are a lot of Nigerians applying because everybody wants to live basically. So I feel like, oh, if I go to the US, if I go to Spain, I will have access to maybe a better education. I still need to study more electrical engineering. I need to get that
Right.
that
Yeah.
that good education, and I see like, oh, maybe that could get me a good job, and then I might be stable maybe anywhere in Europe, or eventually I can move to the US if that works for me.
Yeah. Um. And it's crazy because it's like I don't know. Well, we deal with white supremacy in America, and it's a global thing. Even in a lot of parts of Africa, you can agree to that, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right.
That's why I kind of questioned you. It could have been earlier today or yesterday when you said, why does it have to be about race? and this, that, and other. Well, generally, this is what our struggles are. And, we got a lot of people that come over from Nigeria. And I don't know if you know this or not, but they come over with a certain attitude. I mean, this is what we sense. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like this is why I asked you the questions that I asked you. I understand where you come from and the type of oppression that you come from.
Okay.
And that may seem coming to America better to you in the instance in which you come from, but we are talking about two different experiences. And Americans, you know, a lot of Nigerians that I talk to at least say that they can't understand why we feel the way that we feel and how we could come up with the way that we feel the way that we feel. Well, y'all suffer oppression from where you guys come from. We suffer it from where we come from, and it may not be on the same level of what you all think, but it hurts all of more the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
As to
okay.
where a small group of what America considers 13% can't progress as a people in the country in which we built, we fought, we bled, and we died for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's no disrespect to Africa or Africans, but a lot of Americans been on this soil for 500 years plus. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Okay, so let me see.
Um,
Let me see if I can come in. So you know what? Like, so let me see. As Nigerians in Nigeria, we do a lot of things like to survive, and sometimes it doesn't. It's not enough, right? So maybe
right.
I do two, three, four, five things in Nigeria to keep myself, in a good state, and it's not enough for me. Like I'm not progressing. I just work in day in day out just to feed myself and pay rent. And if Nigerians they have the opportunity to leave this country and then they come, for example, to the US and they do two, three, four, five things same and they get a lot for it. And they feel like, oh, this is good. This is not Nigeria. This is paying me well. I can do this for the next 5 years and this works for me, yeah. And I can be a big man
Yeah.
if I go back home. And then maybe I'm just saying, you people come in and said, I don't know what the case may be, but I feel like maybe you people say, um you guys are coming in, or maybe I don't know what the situation may be, but maybe you guys I feel like, I mean, you're used to it, is the way you live from the day you're born. And maybe Nigerians just feel like, oh, you guys are lazy, you're not doing too much. Like, so like we say normally, we say that the white Americans, or let me say,
That's generally what. Yeah.
they'll say, oh, these guys are lazy. If we go in there, we can do two, three jobs and make it so faster. These people are not working, so we can go there and work. So they might feel like, oh, we are coming here to work. You guys are not working. You guys are not grateful enough because if you go back to Africa, we don't have this, but now we have this. Why are you guys not grateful enough? I think that might have been the situation. So they are just trying to lose what they have upstairs. They were born with it. They see like they do a lot, they're not getting paid, but now they have the opportunity and maybe you guys are not seeing it the way they are seeing it.
Hmm.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Media is a big thing too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Lord knows what they say to you about the city of Detroit, in which I'm in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you've ever heard of it or familiar with it, um, and it does cause a lot of dissension between us. Uh, I can't help but to think American Negro first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like you would be well within your mind and well within your rights to think Nigerians first.
True.
Um, where do you stand on the term black people? Do you believe that all melanated people in different countries, different continents around the world are the same?
Hold on. I was gonna go. Hold on. I did good. I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
parked now. So I'm sorry. Hold on, please. I'm sorry. I'm talking to my roommate. Uh, I did go
Okay.
now. Now I come inside. I want to wear clothes to go. Now I want touch. Give him your code now. Okay. So me personally, I didn't ask for your name. I forgot. What's your name? If that's okay. Can you hear
Me?
me? Yeah, 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 you.
Yeah.
What's your What's your name? I don't know if that's okay if you want to answer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, HBK.
It's a what? I didn't
I
get
got
that.
a lot of people on here that want, I got a lot of people on here that want to kill me, so I kind of stick with HBK.
Oh, SBK. Okay, okay, that's fair. So
Yep.
me generally, I just feel like I'm not. People are not the same. Yeah, people are not the same because we are all born and brought up different way, right? People
Hmm.
are not the same. I just feel like everybody is human and human enough. We are all the same as humans. So I don't see. I don't differentiate. I know people are brought up with different culture, they do different things, but I just feel like everybody have acts and everybody is human being. That was why I was saying that, oh, you don't have to bring race into this. We are all humans. I just feel like that. I'm not disputing the fact that maybe 500 years ago, we were slave to these people. These people do this to us. I mean, their ancestors do this to us, right? But that's the
Hmm.
ancestor. This is 2024. I think um, the world's lot developed. I mean, Tom was there saying, go back to Africa, da 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 da. I mean, there's still people that are assholes that still say these things, do these things, but generally, black people all over the world, I just feel like we are all the same with different
Well,
upbringing.
do you have a large white population
In
in
Nigeria,
Nigeria?
nah, we're all
Yeah.
blacks.
Oh God, I gotta tell you, the whites are horrible. Like they really are. Don't let the smiling face fool you too, because they will smile in your face. They will allow you close to their household. But the whites are horrible people, so you can't necessarily. And this is from an American experience. This is from experiencing white folks shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, they're not human beings. As a matter of fact, in America, white folk put into their constitution that black people, American Negroes, black people, black Americans are three-fifths of a human being. This is how they still view us to this day. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying. People are people, but you view everyone as a human being. But trust me, and this is not out of hatred. This is experience. White folk are not good human beings. Okay,
Hmm.
just got to tell you that. You know, but I understand, and these are things that you may experience when you do come across white folk, whether it's where you are, or if you come to America, or even any whites walking through Spain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're horrible people, horrible human beings. Don't be trustworthy of them. You know what I'm saying? White folk got the ability to come here and white folk got the ability to allow you into America so long as you hate American Negroes, American black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
I mean, before I think of any country, I say, oh, I want to go to this country. I go online and check and say, oh, what's the racial what's the percentage of racist people in this country? You know, I check in if these people are racist or not. I mean, I think of America because I feel like it's a little bit more diverse with different kind of people all over the world,
Hmm.
right? So I feel like uh it happened everywhere, even in this country, there's tribalism and all that. I just feel like I can take it a little bit. I mean, it's not fair. I don't have to go through that kind of thing because of a skin color, but I just feel like, yeah, yeah, I just feel, I don't have a choice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean I get it. You know, experience is experience. That's all I can say on that end. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I do. I gotta get ready to wrap it up right quick. is there anything that you would like to know from me? I know I had a lot of questions, and actually I got a lot more. I'm just not able to. I don't have that amount of time to ask right now. But is there anything you would like to know from me, or anything about America?
You know, you you wanted to know a lot. I mean, I haven't think of anything. Basically, I feel like I see these things online. I okay. So let me ask you a question. Would you advise me and say you can come, you can move into America? Would you advise me to do that?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
If I tell you right now, I said, oh, is it okay for me as a Nigerian, as a black man, or as a black boy, as a young black boy? If I want to move to America. What would you advise me? What would you say about that?
Me coming from the land of what they call freedom, I would say if that's what you absolutely want to do, put your money up and do it. Um, Ain't nothing to it but to do it. That's a saying that we got here in America. But like I know that you recognize Spain and the advantages that you can have over in Spain. I believe that you may have other advantages, better advantages in other parts of the world without having to experience white folk oppression or even kissing white folk ass to, be free. You know what I'm saying? I My advice to you is just to discover other areas in the world, and then you can make a determine. Even Canada, and then you should be able to make the determination on what could ultimately be better for you, or if you develop a family by that time, you and your family at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think of any country that are less racist or that is more comfortable for black people to live in at all?
Off the top of my head, no. Um,
So
no.
so if I ask you, if you're not going to be living in the US today, where would you want to go?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
If you don't want to live in the US today anymore, where would you go?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, because all of my family is here in America. So I would probably move within America. Outside of the country, I have no idea. I got a lot of family, friends, acquaintances, people who I help and would like to stick close with, people who I would like to build with here. So I don't necessarily have a set place in the world that I will want to reside in. But you know, visit or have property. It could be anywhere in the world. Um, I don't know right off the top of my head right now. There's a lot of places in the world I would like to go to visit and vacation to, but as far as living, um,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think my family and I built enough here to want to stay. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I mean, I have nothing anywhere. I'm just me. I'm just by myself. So I don't mind moving anywhere and start something over there.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I said I don't have anything anywhere. So I can easily move anywhere and start a family there. But I
Yeah,
know a lot. I know someone, not a lot. I know a person.
I
She's
do want to say, I do want to say though, just not to cut you off, but since you just said that, I do want to say that I think it is good for you to build a family where you are. Just to keep your bloodline going. That way, it doesn't dilute your family bloodline, your lineage. I do believe that you should produce within your country and
uh,
with a woman from your country, even if it's here in America. You know what I'm saying? You still. do believe that you should produce within yourself.
So I mean that's fair. I can marry a Nigerian. That's okay. But my family lineage, I don't even know where the family I'm from.
I'm sorry.
I'm still protecting my family lineage. I don't know about that because
Oh,
why I said that. So I'm like I said, my parents died when I was young, so I don't really know a lot about my dad. And my mom is supposed to cover
hmm.
that for me, but she died too. So I'm just alone here. So if I'm starting any family, it's gonna be from me, if you me as the sole person. I'm just alone by
Well, I mean,
myself.
do you have aunts? Do you have aunts, uncles, cousins? Um,
I can't go
you
in.
don't. You do you have any communication with any of their family
I mean,
that's still living?
I still communicate with my half sister. She still got her father though. She came before me. My mom had one husband and then my dad. So my dad died, yeah. And from my dad, from my dad, I don't know anybody, like nobody. From my mom, I've got a couple of aunties and uncles, but it doesn't work well. Everybody's trying to survive and they've got kids too. So, but I live far away from everybody because I needed to do my diploma. So I sponsor myself. I have to pay for those colleges and all those things. So I have to like move away, get a job, and do school at the same time, and then pay for those things. So I've moved away from a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, the final piece of advice I could give, if you ultimately decide to come to America, um, despite what you see in the media,
Mm-hmm.
despite what you may witness from people, sometimes you got to take Black American words for it, and just don't be disrespectful to the culture. Don't be disrespectful to the lens. Don't kind of look down upon, or because a lot of people do that. Not just Africans. A lot of Asians, Indians, different white people from all over the place and shit come here and do that. And never side with the white supremacists against them an American Negro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm, I'm black, so I think I'm just gonna stick with being black. You feel me?
Well, that a lot of people may have that energy coming over here, but it's somewhere that shit get lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
um, fuck. I had a question. Damn. Oh, okay. Black. Do you all in Lagos walk around calling yourselves black
I mean, hold
just
on.
off the whim?
No, we don't. We don't.
What do you generally label yourself as? Like even when you're referring to each other.
Like, like I don't know, like a normal person, you just say me by your name or bro. You know, yes, but we don't do black, white. No, we are all black people here, so kind of like
Y'all
that.
don't say like black power or black empowerment,
No, no, no.
or
Like,
how do you feel about are you familiar with the word or term Negro?
yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, I go on the internet. I see a lot of where they go. I see a lot of these things happen. Yeah, I'm familiar with Negro. I'm familiar with slave trade. I mean, there's a place in Nigeria that talks about the history of slave trade. 70% of slave trade happened in the port of Lagos. So yeah, I'm familiar with a lot of that.
Yeah.
So I've seen
How
lots
do
of
you
Go, go, go ahead. Sorry.
How do you feel about Caribbean people? If you're familiar with those Haitians, Jamaican, are you familiar with any of them or their culture?
No, not their culture per se. Maybe nothing different from what I've seen online, right? But
Uh huh.
maybe Indians. I've seen a lot of Indians movie and all that, but I just feel like it's cool. They are their own people. They've got their own things going, and yeah. So, like I said, everybody's human with different upbringing and all that.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry, my time is limited, and I do got a couple of things to do right quick. But I do got to let you know a couple of things. One, I appreciate your time. Like I said, I felt like I had felt a difference with you. I felt like we could have a respectable conversation, and it was. And I appreciate that. I did give you a follow. I do want to let you know if you see some things of me talking things of certain African or Caribbean people that may not seem so nice, just know that I'm just giving certain people the same energy that they give me. I know that we're online, so people tend to troll. And if I got the time, then I'll troll them back. But obviously, hopefully, with this conversation, you can see that I don't view everyone like that. You come at me with respect, I'm going to come at you with respect, 100%. You know what I'm saying? So just don't get discouraged by anything that you may see. Recognize the conversation, and they may have came off disrespectful first. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Also, if you're not, I don't know if you're a professional wrestling fan, but my theme is wrestling with racism. I'm viewing racism through the lenses of professional wrestling, and I got a YouTube channel. You could check it out. Just on my link tree on my in my profile on my bio or whatever. Wrestling with racism. Hey, check out the other content, and if you like it, it's a lot to talk about wrestling, but at the same time, it's some racial relations, and it can help you understand racial relations in America as well. Hit the subscribe if you like it, and share it with people that you may know, because it's very informational. I hold spaces often. You are free to join anytime. We can always continue this conversation. But I just got to let you know that I appreciate it. And if you don't mind, if I could screen record this conversation and put it on YouTube on your consent, if you don't mind that.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We can do that. It's fine.
Okay. And like I said, you could check out the content as well, and check this out as well, and you'll see how I operate. I'm a great guy.
It's, I believe so. I have to
Yeah.
because I'm currently going out. It's 9 p.m. right now, so I drive for like right now. I drive. I do a driving job. So like I'm at home right now. I have like two roommates. We share a room. So, but so I have to stay with people I drive to work. So I have to like travel like 2 hours this time to get to my location and get to start my job tomorrow morning. So that like so in case if you are hearing the honking from cars, I'm sorry about that. I have to
Oh, no
like
problem.
so
No
I'm on
problem.
the road right now. Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah. No problem. But I gotta get ready to go right now. So like I said, I followed you. You followed me. We'll stay in contact, and I appreciate your time.
Me too. I appreciate you talking to me and asking this question. It's a pleasure. It can happen at any time. I'm available. I'll check in. I really appreciate our conversation.
All right. Thank you.
You too. Take care of
Thank you. I
yourself.
appreciate it as well. You too.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right.
man. Good night.
Good night.